Look at him over there. Patiently waiting. Karl and the cat. Say hi.
Hello.
Karl's not happy in my beer selection for him today. It is the last box from the Christmas calendar last year, so we really made this sucker last.
Yeah.
It is box 24. And guess what? We can buy a new box this year.
Yeah, more citrusy torture.
You have something on your lip. Maybe it's a... No, it was food. There you go. Or it's still on your lip. No, it's a... Anyway. So let's see what he gets. It might be crap. After that, he kind of knows what he's got.
It's...
In the YouTube bin. I can sit over here. Let's see. Then I'll...
Bodin Bayern Julebayer. I'm skeptical.
A Bayer.
But at
Bayer
least
beer.
I don't think there is going to be lemons in it.
It is 4.7%. Okay, you gotta show it. And then you can read it. He's having this one. This is the last one in the last year's Christmas calendar. But don't worry. The grocery store assures me that the new beer, or the new calendar, same suppliers, but different beers. So that'll be interesting to see. There you go. Okay, you can read it. And try it and see how you like it. There. I have to get a nail file because did you know if you get like one thing hooks on your yarn, I'm going to rip the whole damn nail off. I swear to God. Files like that. So I have to say hi. Audra was here first and then came Albert. And then I started cleaning and I missed the rest. I have to find a nail file though, otherwise I can't do any yarn work today. So tell me what you got.
Tastes kind of pleasant.
Yeah? Oh my God, no nail file. Oh, there's one. Ha! I can fix it. You can't do anything with yarn when your fingernail catches on everything. And I still have vacation fingernails, so see how long they can last. What do you think? That's got a nice color to it.
Smells very little.
It's kind of
the color
ambery.
is fine. The taste is fine. I think it will work.
Yeah? So Karl got home like 5 minutes ago. Now he can have a beer. Oh, it feels so much better now. Fix the damn fingernail. I can relax. What do you think?
It's okay-ish.
You're going to survive this one?
It's not great, but it's fine. It's
Where's it from? Who makes it?
it's up in Bodø somewhere.
Yep, it is. Brygge tappet av Boden AS in Bodø. So you're going to make it through that one?
Yeah.
Yay. So I have another one of my mom's scarves on. This one is in Tarsha. Which
You are being too interested in alcohol lately.
you knit one way and then you kind of knit the other way and knit the other way and it goes like that. It's a prayer shawl though. So it's got, and it's Noro. So if you like Noro, there's all kinds of Noro in this thing.
It's a prayer shawl.
It's a prayer shawl. That's what she called it. I've had this one for probably 8 years now. 6 to 8 years. Anyway.
So you can...
No, it's probably actually almost 10 years. It's probably the first one I got from her. But it's called a prayer shawl. Apparently, I don't know, I think it's a Jewish thing or something. But it only has fringes on one side. So this side does not have fringes. And then you can go through the array of Noro. Noro is a Japanese yarn with a little bit of silk in it, raw silk. And it has amazing colors. You can needle bindle with it too. It's don't pull it too hard though. There she kind of gets into another skein. And then it's got fringes on one side. And I guess that's why it's called a prayer shawl. Don't know. And then of course the fringes are tied in a unique way. Like that. No? You don't have anything to say about prayer shawls? You seem so
I have a
tip
whole,
of the tongue.
I have a whole lot I can say, but I don't know how much I want to insult religions
I can
right
pray.
now.
I can pray. No? All right.
But
Anyway,
I have to say that God has to be in a particularly good mood if he accepts prayers from under that shawl.
insulting my shawl.
No, it's just that in Leviticus, the same place where you have the
Yeah.
gay sex and so on rules, there is also a rule against mixing different types of textiles in the
It could
same.
be a Catholic shawl. I was born and raised Catholic.
Doesn't
but-
help. They still have the Old Testament.
Yeah.
You would have to have a religion that didn't have the Old Testament to accept this.
Aw. Okay, anyway, so we'll say hi. But anyway, it's Noro yarn, and you can see how thick it is. It's about that thick. It's probably Noro's Garden or Secret Garden or Silk. Forget which one. So, there was more people here. James is here. He says, hi, Karin and Karl. I am working on a Hinkley knitting machine. Oh, okay. I don't know any name brand preferences when it comes to knitting machines, but Hinkley is the name of a town that Karl has now been to in Minnesota. It is the exact halfway point, or pretty close to a halfway point, between Duluth and Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they have a Toby's restaurant, which has cinnamon rolls to die for. I got turkey. What did I get? It was
This
like
is where
turkey
you-
sandwiches. Like, it was first place you ate on the way up to my mom's house.
Yeah, where your brother handed us over.
I want to say
your
it was a
mother.
turkey melt, or anyway, it's like turkey sandwiches. You just, in a little bit of mashed potato in the middle, and you just completely cover it in gravy. It's so good. Yeah, I forgot what you got there though, but
No, but I didn't really get any bad food at all in America.
no, it's good. It's just different places, but
I had one bad bear. That's it.
I forget which one it was even.
Cloudy Desire.
Oh, that was the beer. No, the
Cloudy,
infusion beer.
In fact, the menu said Cloudy infatuation.
That was from a brewery in St. Paul.
Yeah, but I was in a hurry because there was a queue behind me, and I didn't have time to read the menu because my eyesight is bad, so I had to go up close to it to read it. And I take the first thing I think I can pronounce, but I'm reading it a little bit too quickly, so I order Cloudy Inflation.
Cloudy inflation, but it was actually infatuation.
Yeah.
Or something like that, and it was
It was very cloudy.
a mango bomb, I think.
No, there was no lemons or anything in it, but it's kind of made in a way where you have the fibers from the grain still in the beer.
Yeah.
So it looked like somebody had just shredded a lemon and put it into the beer, because you had like little lumps floating around in it,
Oh yeah, it was very cloudy, your beer.
and it was horrendously bitter.
Yeah, but everything else was good.
Yeah, everything else was good, and your brother offered to switch bears with me because he probably saw that this wasn't really hitting the spot. But at that point, I was so committed to the cloudy inflation that I basically pretended that was what I wanted.
I wouldn't have switched beers. I would have made sure you drank that sucker. Next time, use a little bit more time at the
But,
menu.
Next time, every Vinmonopoly I go to from now on, I'm going to bully them about the dragon's milk.
Yeah, that was your favorite one, Dragon's Milk, and it was by a place in Michigan, I believe.
Possibly.
They also had a coffee Dragon's Milk too.
They have both coffees.
Stout. It was a stout.
No, one was coffee and one was milk.
Yeah. So then we had that. That was, yeah. No, you had a lot of fun beers anyway, but we didn't even get through all of them.
No.
There were so many.
We were going. The first day we bought more beer and iced coffee than I could possibly.
We had time to kill at a liquor store. That was not a good, not a good idea. So we walked there, and it took, I don't know how long to take to get there. Maybe about an hour. Which it wasn't that far. Well, we walked at a snail's pace too, but
Yeah, and also
because in St. Paul the stores are far apart. Maybe
she
it was
will
Woodbury.
happily talk about everything she sees, and I'm fascinated because I've never been there before, so I will happily stand there and listen to everything she sees. So getting anywhere in America with Karin takes a while.
Yeah, but when we got there, because we walked there, which nobody in Woodbury does apparently. Then we bought so much we had to wait for my brother to pick us up because we couldn't carry all of it. You found Dunkin' Donuts iced coffee. You found an alcoholic iced coffee too.
Yeah.
So we
That
found
was less good than I.
No, then we were buying little shots. We bought B-52, forgot to drink those. Sex on the Beach, forgot to drink those. My mom's now going to have one hell of a party without her car. What else did we get? Oh, I got these little, no, that was in Duluth, though. I found these little vodka bottles called Ocean or something like that. It's, I don't know, I didn't even drink the vodka. I just poured it in a mason jar. So my mom now has a mason jar of vodka because they look like little blue potions. So I thought my kid would like the bottle because she likes, well, she likes things that look like potions, but also sea life. And it was this blue glass bottle with like a Hawaii kind of sticking out on it a little bit. So I thought she'd like that. So I promptly went and bought 4 more of them and then dumped them all in the mason jar. And
then the lady in the shop points out that, but we also have big ones.
It's big. It's like a bowling ball. But no, couldn't get that one. But I wanted to try the Desario. I think it's Desario. I forget what it's pronounced. It's like an amaretto anyway, but they had a velvet one. Deserrano, I think it's called. Deserranio. I forget, but anyway, it's one of my favorite amarettos to throw into a coffee. And the velvet one was like a white version of it, and I thought, oh, but they do have that here. So I didn't get it over there because I wasn't sure how it would travel home. They didn't have it at tax-free, but they do have it in Norway, so I'm very excited about that, and I will have to try that. So to say hi to more, let's see, Prude is here, Garcia's here. Let's see, we said Alder and Albert. Albert, how far did you get on your stash busting, by the way? Do you want to see how far Karl got?
I've done nothing.
Not a damn thing. He didn't even glue the thing back on the stand. I'm gonna just tease you for that. I only started my stash busting today, so I had to finally get at it. Sophia's here, by the way. She's from everywhere, originally Germany. Let's see. Garcia's from Holland. Prude is in Poland right now, originally South Africa. Audra is hanging out in Bali for the last week. And Albert is Norwegian. We're all over the globe here. Max, I believe, is in United States or England. I forget. You gotta remind me of that one. Now I'm suddenly losing it. Max says, hey, I have some really exciting news to share with you. My birthday's coming up. Oh, yay. How old you gonna be? Said the 52-year-old over here. Somebody's got to join me on this half of the century. Happy birthday anyway, coming up. I think Kira had a birthday too, not too long ago. Maybe 2 weeks, 1 week. Brutus says, Hector and I are confined to our flat this weekend because our car's clutch packed up. Ooh. Hopefully that won't be too expensive of a fix. Let's see. Oh, and I see my, I need to reload my chat window here. There we go. Oh my God, there's lots more. I was wondering why the chat wasn't moving up. It's because I got disconnected. Lindsay's here. Samantha's here. Kaya's here from Tregda. That's Karl's sister. Let's see. Sophia says, oh yeah, PJ's here. England as well. Miserable England, apparently. Max is celebrating it tomorrow with the family, but the actual one is on Tuesday. So happy birthday on Tuesday. Let's see. Yeah, Sophie's in Scotland right now. She's lived in Norway for a bit. That's where I know her from. Then she was also originally from Germany. You've lived everywhere. But now lately in Scotland. I think you've been there for a couple of years now, if I remember correctly. You have to come back to Norway. We missed you in Gudvangen. Amaro's here from Belgium. Let's see. Does the norovirus have raw silk too? No, noro is a beautiful, lovely yarn. Nothing to do with a virus, no. But you could probably knit it if you have the virus. I don't know if it'll make you feel better. It would definitely make me feel better. The noro shawl would make me feel better if I was wearing it and I was sick. Norovirus, I'd be on the toilet. Okay, anyway. Men in Kilt Skin Spin, welcome back. Oh, I did some printing, by the way. Let's see. I'll show that in a minute. Sophia says, oh, but the outer Hebs, I'm not sure what Hebs are. Suburbs, I'm guessing, are a totally different story. I'm in the middle of the mainland. Okay. Samantha is spinning today, has some merino and Wensleydale to get through before holiday market starts next Tuesday. I actually did a little spinning this week. I spun a little bit of my, there's like, this is my leftover yarn. Or little pieces of yarn anyway that I have a little leftover. Then I card them and then spin them. And it came out like that. I plied it. See if I can do it like that. You can see it a bit better, maybe. Let's see. There. I turn them into pouches. This one was kind of a boring one. I think it was in a green phase. There's a little bit of yellow in there. My cat's talking. See, I spun, but not much. Let's see. Albert's got a bunch of whale teeth pieces for 400 kroner that he's going to give to Peter. Oh, Peter will be your new best friend for that. I would ask him to give you shoes in return. Pete makes really good shoes. Nella is here from Finland.
But he stopped making shoes.
Did he? Is he only working with bone now? I thought he was doing shoes.
Is just a bone man now.
Yeah, just a bone man now. No, he made. I know he made Lila a pair of sealskin shoes.
Mm. No, he knows how to do it. It's just that it is so time-consuming and physically hard.
Yeah, you have to boil the leather and then try to turn it inside out, the turn shoes. Albert's been very busy, he said. Sophie's got some exciting news as well, going to work in an open-air Viking museum in Iceland next year. Oh, is that the one where the market is at every year? I have an invite 5 years ago. Didn't go, though, because I'd have to mail my tent and everything. We should do that one year, though. No, Karl doesn't do Viking markets on his break. I forgot about that. When he's on the day off, he doesn't want to take a day off from being Viking to be a Viking. I would. I'll go with you. But congratulations, by the way. How long are you going to be there? Just for the summer, or are you going to go for a longer time? She's getting even more international, Sophie. Let's see, 6.5 years in Scotland now. Oh my God, time flies. But yeah, that's right. You left before the COVID hit. Wow. Samantha loves the color yarn, Karen. I call mine trash yarns when I card and spin leftover wool bits. Not the most polite, but alas. Well, that was it. It has kind of like the other one came out kind of red and stuff. What I've been doing is, it actually turned out to be a lot more green than I thought, but what I've been doing is, I have a bin, and it's over there now, but anyway, a little bin, and every once in a while I'll pick out all the colors that are kind of in all the greens together, but it could be different shades of greens and all the reds together, and I'll card just those and spin that, and this is about how much green I got, but it starts going into yellow. But somehow a little orange snuck in there somewhere. See? There it is. But they make nice little pouches. It's just enough for a pouch. Oh, I'm on top chat, not live chat. Oh, my hair I'm having a day today. I just noticed it. Albert says he still makes shoes, by the way. Pete still makes shoes. Karsten and Doro are here from Germany, Flensburg. Let's see. And then Sophia says, no, it's not the one with the market, but we have our own festival. It's going to be for 7 months. You're going to be there for 7 months, and you've lived in Iceland before, so you're not getting that international. Damn it, I can't keep up with her. She's lived everywhere. Okay, so I played with yarn. I had to show you my stash busting. For one, I get a call from my kid who thinks I need to give her a boba, buy her a boba, because in order for me to buy her a boba, she has to prove that she did something that she's really proud of. Or something that means that she earns, because I just don't give her a boba for nothing. I need to hear about what she did that was good that day. And she came back and she told me she learned how to advance her knitting. So she can now knit two right, two wrong. She can do two rätt, two wrong, or knit two, purl two. It's basically a cuff. So she learned how to do that, and she's ahead of the rest of her class. So I was very excited about that. So she earned herself a boba. But then I thought I have to teach her what she can make with it, because I'll send her some of my yarn. I've actually got a bag there with 12 skeins of Cortinas that she can have. Actually, 16 skeins.
But if your kids were not excellent at
no, that's what I told them.
English.
The phone fell. There we go.
Wow.
You guys went for a trip. Who puked? No, but if my kids, they should be damn good at it.
They have a Dutch angle now. It's cool.
It's a Dutch angle? Yeah. What do you mean?
It's not...
It is too. What's wrong with it?
Yeah, you might be right. Weird. I could have sworn it was crooked.
No?
But it might just be my brain.
No, your brain's crooked. How's that beer, Karl?
I'll go and get another one.
Yeah, don't drop your glass. I'll kill you. Okay, but you can pick one out of the YouTube box, but it can't be this big. It has to be like...
No, I'll pick a Belgian one.
You can't handle a Belgian. That's like a lot of... No, but are you going to have one from before, or are you going to have a new one?
You want me to have a new one?
If you have the new one, it's the Creek Belgian. That thing is flipping huge. You cannot have that today. That's like a 1 episode beer.
I broke my old record in...
It's not a
sword
competition.
No.
You have to prove that you've earned it. Yes. What have you done that was good today?
I did the 4 cuts thing.
Tell them.
We are making wooden swords. We are off season. After 2 o'clock, we go into production mode in Santa's workshop. And the first day, I made 127, then 166, then 198, then 253, and today I made 286, I think.
Yeah.
Not entirely sure about the last stack, but more than 280 for sure.
That's not bad at all.
So I'm rewarding myself with the Belgian beer.
You're rewarding yourself with a Belgian beer. Okay. A new Belgian beer or a previous Belgian beer?
If there was didn't you say that the new one was enormously big?
Yeah, but it's huge. It's a creek. Craig? Am I saying that right? Creek? Kriek?
Then maybe we should save that for a day when you actually want me drunk.
Yeah, no, you're going to be too drunk. It'll be a puddle.
But how strong is it?
I don't know. You have to go and dig in the
go and
box.
have a look.
Okay. So he's proved he needs a treat. Okay, anyway, so I showed my kids, I thought I'd send her a pattern of what she can make now that she knows how to do knit 2, purl 2. So I showed her she can make a wrist warmer. So I made these out of drops air. I've been knitting, I can't help it. But I made 2. They look really skinny, but it's the knit 2, purl 2. If you don't know what that is, it looks like that. This is done on size 5mm needles though, so it's quite thick. But this is drops air. It's alpaca, merino, wool, and a little bit of polyamide. 55% polyamide, maybe. It's a lot of, maybe it is a lot. Anyway, but the way to make them, so I have to make one for her sister now too, and then so they can learn how to make these things and make presents for their friends. And this is my stash yarn. I'm using my stash yarn. No, it's the other bottle, the one that doesn't have the paper on it. So this is the knitting. So these ones you just do, I don't know, this is I think 28 stitches maybe. You do a multiple of 4 because you do 2 right, 2 wrong, 2 right, 2 wrong. And it makes what you call a vrangboard in Norwegian. But then you kind of leave long tails on each end. I left this one loop because I might make it longer, I don't know. And then you wrap, I have to do this way. Let's see. Then we point downwards. There we go. So you do it like this. Put your hand in there. And then you sew the top together to your thumb. And then you sew the bottoms together from your thumb down. It's hard to stretch it this way, but then you get the wrist warmer. So this one is a different yarn. This is the Sulka yarn because it's the only thick pink yarn I had, and her twin really likes pink. So it counts though. I used some stash. So I got 2 of them together here, and then I thought, considering this has nothing to do with needle binding, it's, well, a little bit, it's just yarn, but it's actually knitting. I can show you something funny. If you haven't noticed before or heard of it before, if you're a knitter and you're from United States, I don't knit correctly. Let's see, my yarn is stuck here through the cord. There we go. For one, you need a yarn bowl. This is my yarn bowl if you're going to do knitting. You put the ball in there, and then the yarn goes, I got to turn on the light. There you go. You put the ball in there, and then you put the yarn through here, and then when you pull your yarn, the ball just kind of moves around in there. But you can't, in needle binding, it doesn't make sense because you're using lengths. But that one is the guy in Vestby who made it out of oak. What do you think? Oh, are you opening? Sorry, open, and then I'll show you what I did.
Overkill.
Belgian overkill?
Yeah.
What do you got?
Now, first you had to take the condom off. Then there was a cork, like this. And now there is a cork. So they are really, really concerned about this bed for some reason.
Do you want to show them what it is first? How do you pronounce that, Anne? How do you pronounce it, Karl? Ooh, Oud Creek. It's a really big bottle, though. You gonna drink all that today?
Old Crike.
Crike, maybe. That's how you'd say it. Crike? I was saying creek. Lindemans. But actually, Lindemans isn't that an American name? I thought Lindemans was American.
Every name in America comes from somewhere else.
1602 Viezenbeek. Oh, Belgium. No, it is Belgium. Okay. All right, there you go. Sorry, have fun. And then I'll show my knitting. Ah, it was a rental car, says Pruda. Now I got the rest of the chat in here. Let's see if I can scoot. Oh, I see Nolvi is here too. Audience down. Pruda likes your beer choice, by the way. I thought Karl would like that. It was actually a tour that picked it out. We sent him with some money to he was going to the Vinmonopolet, which is about 40 minutes from here. Ooh, that made a good noise. So I sent him with some money and said, Karl needs more beer. Anything Belgian will do. It smells like cherry. A little bit. It smells like wine, actually.
That's not necessarily a good sign.
Did you rinse you can't, you still got beer in your glass.
Well, of course I do.
You're going to ruin it.
If it isn't tasty enough to overcome a few drops of Bayern, then I don't know what it...
Ah, Pruda says, thanks for reminding me that one can buy old sweaters and frog them for yarn. Now I have a reason to haunt the thrift shop. You'll love it. And even if it's got a thrift shop smell in it, if it's wool, you can when you wet it and
That's weird.
dry it, it'll...
Because when I look at it at the phone, it looks okay. But when I look at it directly, it looks like it's red.
It's a little bit red because you got the light going through it.
Yeah, but I had the light going through the Bayer as well, and it didn't look red.
Well, it looks red.
Also, the foam is
The foam
pink.
is a little pink. Now that shows up on there too, and it shows up on here. Okay.
Oh, I'm so skeptical.
I'm...
Did I put cherries in it?
I don't know. It was a very red-looking label.
I can't really pick up a smell of cherries, but if she says it smells like cherries and it's bright red, that... Not a great sign.
Shut up and drink. I want to see.
I put cherries in it.
You have to drink the whole thing because you deserve it, Karl. How many ounces is that thing? How much liquid is it? Is it a whole liter? No.
I guess it's probably pretty close.
How much is it? And the percent is 7.5%, and you've got...
It's 75 deciliters.
Yeah.
Well, 7.5 deciliters. Well, 0.75 liter.
So it's, yeah, probably 1.25.
Yeah, no.
No, you gotta... Bottoms up, pal. You deserve it. It's Belgian. Come on. You've been looking forward to this.
Okay.
Don't bottoms up it. My God.
This gives several negative points to
What
Belgium.
can you cook with this? We might need what to make dinner after this. Maybe we can cook it. So you don't want that one again? You finally found a Belgian you didn't like.
I put cherries in it. It's insane.
Your voice is getting so high.
Why would you do that?
I like the way your lip is just quivering before you. That Christmas calendar's looking better already.
Oh, it's horrible.
Cherry lovers, there you go.
I have to find out the Belgian word for cherries because I'm sure it is there in big letters.
Well, I was thinking Lindemans, but okay.
And also, notice another little detail. Every time I put something alcoholic in this glass, Fuzzy comes and sniffs it.
The cat is Fuzzy. That's
He
his name.
is nowhere to be seen because he knows better.
Okay, I'll let you recover it. I'll knit a second. Oh, Anne's got something to say about this. Let's see. There we go. Downwards. Ah, didn't turn. There, no, turn the camera. Damn it. There we go. Okay. I know how to operate this. Okay, so here's my knitting on a needle binding thing. If you know how to knit right and wrong, as we call it, Norwegian says rett og vrang, right and wrong. And knitting, in the United States, we say knit and purl. So, but the thing is, they hold the yarn. The Americans tend to hold the yarn on this finger here. And I'm not even holding it right because I can't even remember how to do it. So they would knit and throw the yarn over the needle, but the Norwegians, I think most Europeans do it this way. They hold it in the left hand. I'm right-handed, by the way. Wrap it around and then pull through. What was it? It was stab it, choke it.
That's one good thing about this.
Pull it through.
It has a cork like this.
Yeah.
So I can re-cork it, and if you find somebody stupid enough to like it, you can give it to them.
You can give it to Tor, maybe he'll drink it.
I don't think Tor drinks at all.
No, but somebody will have it at work. Roger! Give it to Fjallar. Okay. And then Pearl, you also do the same, but the Pearl, you go the other way. You grab the yarn first and go through, and then whip it around. But you hold the yarn in the other hand here. So, oops, sorry. I have to get a new angle. Sorry. Anyway, but yeah, that's how you knit and purl in Norwegian. This is not a tutorial on that, but it's just the way that it looks is different. So anybody who comes from a knitting background will notice. My mom calls this I knit the fast way.
It came out of this hole. It should go back into this hole.
Karl's having issues with a cork, in case you were wondering. And the hole is the bottle, not anything else innuendo-ish. Anyway, but I'll finish this row because I can't stop in the middle of the row. But this counts, even though it's not needle binding, it is using up my stash. And I think this is probably going to be about 50 grams when I'm done. And then I started a hat and needle binding finally, but it's spiraled right now because I'll do my thing where I add change one color for a little bit, so it'll be not too plain. There we go. And then when these two are the same length, which is pretty close, then I can loosely bind off, and then I can sew them together and send them to my kids. And then I thought I had to show them how to make a pussy hat. Yes, it's called a pussy hat. You can do it in the round, but I don't think my kids have learned how to go in the round yet. So what they can do is ribbing for a little while, and then let's stockinette stitch, which is glattstrik in Norwegian, where you do all. You could make one of these in Coptic, though, because the Coptic stitch would have a similar look. But anyway, you do about this much in ribbing, which is what that is. And then you do stockinette stitch, and then you do ribbing again, but you do it wider and bigger so you can make a hat. And then when you're done, you sew it together. You fold it in half and sew it together on the sides. And then when you put it on a head, it kind of has this little ear thing going on here. Ta-da! So I will make one of those as well and show them that that's something that they can make while they're doing flat. But I started doing some needle binding as well. This is my other part of my stash. Same yarn, just gray. But you'll see there's two. There's one. And there's one. It's a spiral because now this one has run out. So I will swap the color with some of the pink and continue in that for a little bit, and then this is another spiral. And the reason I have it spiraled is because this way the row won't be on top of each other like this. It'll actually be spaced apart. So you'll actually see that it swirls instead of just a stripe with a jog in it. So that's my plan there, and that's an Oslo stitch because Oslo's fast. Karl is struggling severely over there with he's having a creek crisis, or crike crisis, or whatever you want to call it. How's that going for you, Karl?
I think I have it now. So now I just have to.
Really are not going to have that. Well, at least you found a way to kind of preserve it a bit. I used to have one of those rubber corks that you stick in there, and then you have this like thing that sucks the air out of it. And you could use it for wine. Oh, there you go. If anybody from Gudvangen is watching. Okay, then we'll do needle binding a little bit here too. let's see, turn this down again. There we go. And then we can do, so the stitch of the month is variant G. I saw some people were making it, which was quite cool to see. I printed some pictures too, I'll have to show. So this one I'm using a thinner yarn, and then I think it was PJ who did a thicker yarn. And I would have thought that the thicker yarn, which is similar to the one I was just using, would have been too thick for it. But it's actually not. And then you didn't have that, she didn't have that spacing issues that I had. Let's see, where did I put my pictures? Okay.
No, the horribleness is recorked somewhat.
The horribleness is recorked somewhat. You're going to survive? Do you think you need to drink a different beer now?
I don't know.
There it was. So PJ, I printed, I think it was PJ. Yeah. This is the wrist warmer PJ made, by the way. Was working on. And then this is the stitch. So you can see the difference between, mine is quite see-through because I have thinner yarn. But PJ used a thicker yarn, and it stayed much more together between the rows. This is an increased row, so there will be a little bit of hole, but not much. But as it goes further out, then it won't have so much anymore. But it was quite cool to see that it would work with that one, and I see like a 2-ply yarn here. Anyway, to do that stitch, it's just like Mommin or Corgan, where you're doing, if you didn't see the last 2 days, 2 behind the thumb, 2 loops behind the thumb, and 1 loop in front. So you're going like that, just like you would those, the finished stitches, but you're connecting with M1, F1, which is this one in the middle, and this one, which is actually on the top where you normally would have gone through. So M1 means middle one, and F1 means front one. From this way, sorry, I keep sniffing. And then you have the 2 behind, 1, 2, and the 1 in front and under the working yarn. And that's the variant G. I was thinking about making a bag with this. I liked Anne's idea of making little pouches with the stitch of the month, but it's so holy that I wouldn't want to put anything in it. It'll just pop right out. So I think it'll be a hat, but it won't be finished in the near future because I have stash busting and Christmas calendar stuff to work on, and a couple things I have to make for other people as well. But there you go, M1, F1, and then 2 behind the thumb, 1 on the thumb, and 1 under the working yarn. Karl went out to have a frustrated cigarette. I forgot to count to see if I'm increasing, but I'm okay. I like the way it kind of crosses here, though, when you mix it that way. Let's see, M1, F1. It's like going under this braid. And then 2 behind the thumb and 1 in front. You gonna find something else to kill the taste, Karl?
No, I'm getting down somehow. But it's not just a waste of beer, it's also a waste of cherries.
It's a waste of cherries.
Because you could make cherry liqueur with them, and that's actually very good.
Oh yeah, you could. Let's see now if I can turn the...
I think the first time I was slightly buzzed was on cherry liqueur.
Cherry liquor? Oops, we're going everywhere here.
Not liqueur. It's...
Oh, liqueur!
Yeah,
that's the stuff I have in my coffees, but
very,
not cherry.
Yes, very sweet and very strong taste of cherry. And I think it was also pretty strong, because I was absolutely not supposed to get drunk at this time.
Pruda says, I love Crake beer. Crake, I'm saying it so wrong. I have to fix my hair. I've seen it. It's not good.
Yeah, but Peruda is not exactly civilized.
Poor Peruda. She's coming here in July next year. She and Hector.
She'll probably have forgotten all about that before she comes.
I don't know if it'll last until then anyway. Okay, I'm having a really bad hair day today. Let's see. What else am I missing here in chat? Oh! Robert Reynolds is here actually and has learned how to do... he's been trying needle binding and he figured it out. He cracked the code. I took a picture. I took a copy of his picture. Let's see if I can get my hair to stay up. There we go. I have more pictures. So I have... No, I was gonna take a picture, but anyway, no, I didn't take. I haven't been at a printer today. But he figured out how to needle bind, did the chain, and even did a round start. I was quite impressed. Are you hooked? Did you buy a stash instead of bust the stash? So I have to see. There's a reply in there from him, but that's to Sophie. Oh yeah, there he said. So apparently my mom knitted an American. There it goes. My mom knitted like an American. Yeah, it's like where you throw the yarn all the time. Anyway, my mom tried to teach me when I was younger how to do it, and I just got all pissed off. I couldn't figure it out and frustrated with it, and didn't really knit anything. And then, I don't know, when I was 25, I picked it up and tried it again, but then I was in Norway. Actually, that's the year I moved to Norway and got it no problem. So I think it is because of the way that it was knitting, but my mom thinks I probably might have been a little more patient because it was somebody other than my mom teaching me how to do it. My mom can teach a lot of people advanced knitting, everything, but not her own kids. This sounds familiar. I did teach my kids how to needle bind though, but they weren't interested in learning how to knit, but they learned it real quickly at school. Norwegians have to learn how to knit in school.
Well, have to is probably...
Explain that one. This is the second time they're learning it. Once when they were like 7, and then
but
now they're 15.
It's probably... I'm not... I was studying to become a teacher at one point, but I haven't been paying much attention since then. But I read the curriculum for the subject of history because we are trying to make products for the schools. And basically, it is entirely up to the teacher which exact period of history they go through. They just have to understand the terms and ideas. So I would think it is something like that for arts and crafts as well. There is nothing that is basically mandated that I absolutely have to learn. But they have to kind of understand the principles and ideas behind...
Maybe it's to appreciate the amount of work that goes into it.
Yeah, to some extent, and I have to do something, but they don't necessarily have to. I don't think that knitting is mandatory. I remember I learned knitting kind of very, very primitively when I went to school.
I bet you could. You still have to learn how to needle bind. If Robert can do it, so can you.
No, but the point is that I think we only spent like a week.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 weeks on knitting, and all I learned to do was to go a row this way. I couldn't even turn. The teacher turned for us.
Oh.
So...
I asked Cecilia if she could go in the round. I said, did you learn how to go in the round? And she said, no, we haven't learned that yet. And I thought that was kind of weird because I would have thought knitting in the round would have been easier than going back and forth and back and forth.
Yes, but if you learn how to turn, I guess it would be easy enough.
No,
but
to connect and do the next row. The point is
that it wasn't anything that particular teacher put any weight on. So that year, I remember it because it was the last year I did any kind of arts and crafts. So in 8th grade, Norwegian standard. I made a pillow, I made a stuffed animal, and I made a woven thingamajig. But we also learned knitting, but I didn't do enough knitting to actually make a product.
Oh, my ex made
so quick.
Some pants or an overalls for his teddy bear. I thought that was kind of cute. But he was obviously younger than 15 when he did it.
I still have the pillow I made because it's kind of interesting. I think probably I wouldn't get away with making that pillow today.
No?
It has Hitler's face in 3 exemplars.
Oh my God, of course it does.
You're
a horrible person.
I made the outline of his face with potato print, and then I just kind of embroidered the hair and the mustache. I was originally planning to have Hitler, Mussolini, and Hirohito. But the problem is nobody knows what Hirohito looks like. No? So people wouldn't recognize him. So I just made 3 exemplars of Hitler.
You didn't use Vikings? Any Vikings? You know, you could have done Thor.
Yes, but
Odin.
As I said, this was in 8th grade.
Well.
Do you think I always was a Viking?
Mm-hmm.
Not that
I thought they dug you up.
Not that I was a Nazi at this point either, but
back
it
when
was...
well, I guess dinosaurs roamed the earth when you were born, so they probably weren't Vikings yet. It's a little bit before. No, I'm just kidding.
So I am the proud owner of a Hitler pillow.
You're a proud owner of it. Oh my God, you can leave that at your parents' house, by the way. I gotta say that. Oh, Nikki's here, by the way. It says, Nikki Moritz, I managed to pop in while camping. The family is wanting me to get up and put the tent down. No, we're only here for another 15 minutes or so. You can do it.
Is she making a turkey?
No, she's camping. I saw there was, oh yeah, I would think I was going to print a picture of that too, by the way, but there was so much things I wanted to print pictures of, but I didn't have the printer the last couple days. So, no, but she joined Stash Busting and is working on the variant G stitch as well. The stitch of the week, and making a little pouch out of it, of this really beautiful white and blue yarn, but it's in the needle binding group so you can see it. But I can show some other show and tell here. Alfalfa is joining Stash Busting. That's some pretty thin yarn though. I'm impressed. And this is going to be skirts if I remember correctly, and it's for a Christmas present anyway, so the pressure is really on. So that was fun. 750 grams is what she waged. Doesn't get old watching you drink that. And then Ingela Anderson went in at 176. I like that color yarn. Well, 176 plus if I...
moron.
Because this was pointed a bit after. So she's Stash Busting too. She's in Sweden. And this one too. This was Kale Hawk. Was debating about making a scarf, but it was with the spun wool. But look at way those colors look together. It looks so nice and rustic. I like it. So these ones were off Facebook, and there's some more, so you can see what they're doing. But I thought I liked your idea of having a little bit of show and tell. So we have to have a little show and tell. So if you're early in the week, like by, I don't know, within the first couple of days, then I can get them printed off. Otherwise, it might be until the week after. No, but I saw Raymond had, or Robert, I go ahead and want to say Raymond. It's because Raymond Roberts and Robert Reynolds. Robert Reynolds learned how to needlebind. Raymond has been doing ponchos. So you guys aren't quite on the same level, but you're both needlebinding.
This little guy just had a little bit of a mishap of a
What did he
type
do?
that cats usually don't have. Right next to me here, there is a bookshelf that goes almost all the way up to the floor, up to the roof.
Yeah.
And he was enthusiastically climbing the...
He wants that little spot up there to perch.
Yeah, but he forgot how little that spot is. So he fell back down and landed next to me. That's the reason I called him a little moron.
So you got, we have more chat here because, whoops, this way, there we go. I like that Nolvia says, by the way, that you're trying to put the genie back in the bottle.
I mean, it's...
you had to make your 3 wishes first.
I just had a kind of an epiphany when it comes to what I don't like in bear.
Yeah?
To sum it up quickly, it's bitter fruits that are very, very good in liqueurs, but have nothing to do in beer. Because the beer has a bitterness onto itself. And then adding something like cherries or grapefruit that is also bitter,
Yeah.
you kind of get a double dose of bitterness with no sweetness. These things would work excellently in a liqueur, but they absolutely have no business being in beer.
You found a Belgian beer you don't like. I'm impressed.
I think there is at least one more Belgian beer I don't like, but...
Anne says, oh, of all the Belgian beers, you choose this one. They put cherries in it because some people like it and some people ... and some people don't. Because
yeah. There are crazy people in the world. Clearly.
I think you made a pillow dedicated to one of them. Let's see.
Yeah, no, but... I don't know his taste in beer, but...
This has to go down. It's too hard to...
It would probably be something like this.
Maybe. Karl, look up its history. You'll be surprised. Says Anne.
About what?
About the beer. Look up the history of the beer. You'll be surprised. The type of beer. Crake. I keep mispronouncing that. I should have looked that up before. Actually, let's do this one. How do... Google will tell me everything. How... No, I can't. If I do that, then I'll be able to hear myself echoing. Okay, anyway, we'll look it up later. And Lindemans is one of the old breweries, traditional, not sweet. Okay, and Lindemans used to make a lot of wine that I used to be able to drink. That I used to like back when I could drink wine. And let's see. PJ says, I need a name for a dragon. I have one called Ishki, and the other one is Fronkri, and I don't like it. Needs to have a Scandinavian flavor to the word, as their language is loosely based on Norse. Okay, by the way, they're all laughing at you, too, when you were drinking the beer. I'm a little bit behind. Do you have a name for a dragon, Scandinavian sounding one? There's one called Ishki, and the other one that she doesn't like is Fronkri.
So, do you want a Scandinavian nonsense word, or do you want a word that actually means something?
Do both. Do both. Do one nonsense and one... It's for fantasy. PJ's an author. If it's a nice name, it'll get used, maybe.
Slura.
How would you spell that?
I don't know.
Slura, S-L-U-R-A?
Yeah.
Slura.
It means something
or
that...
slur with an E on the end.
It means something that doesn't fit properly.
Well, you can't have E on the end. It would look like slur. 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 Yeah, slur. Well, slur with an E. Slura.
Just throw in an extra U to make it fancy.
Okay. And if you had to use... do you need to rhyme one day? If you had to rhyme one day Ishki, what would you use?
What?
If you had to rhyme it with Ishki, what name would you use? In the Viking way. I'm really going to make it hard for you. No. Okay, rhyme it first and then come up with the Viking one. We're going to have all kinds of names for PJ to choose from here.
Iski, piski, smiski.
Pisky? Do you want to say what pisky would mean in Norwegian?
It wouldn't actually mean anything, but...
Pisk means to...
Pisk is a whip. Pisk is whipping.
Yeah?
And pisk is nothing in Norwegian, but it would kind of bring your mind into the concept of whipping. But
Okay.
It doesn't really mean anything.
Oops, I forgot to increase. And if you needed a Viking-esque dragon name, Viking-inspired dragon name, what would you do?
Well...
Slurtha, Sluda, Slurthda, Ishki means ashy in their language. That's what PJ said. Okay, Viking. Viking-esque dragon name.
I'm trying to remember the name of the mythological dragon or serpent who is biting the roots of Yggdrasil. I'm sure half of your chat knows this name.
Not Jörmungandr.
Nope, that's Loki's kid.
That's the, yeah.
And he's not really a dragon, he's just a really big serpent.
Serpent, yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I see Robert, though, had the same issue, though, by the way, with needle binding. He said, all I know is my mom tried to teach me, and I just couldn't get my head around it. So you might, yeah, and it's coming along, he says. So probably the same thing with me, just your mom can't teach you, but everybody else can. I think we have more patience for other people than we do for our own family, I guess. She can teach us. My mom does advanced knitting. She's actually certified for an advanced knitting. But yeah, she couldn't teach me. Let's see. Oh, Lindsay's on her way to anatomy class. Have fun. PJ says, I've never learned how to... Anatomy.
Ah.
The anatomy of a dragon. Pruda says she could probably teach Karl needle binding, by the way. Nalbinding, but she's a very patient teacher. We'll film that. In July, you have dates. You're going to try. What's hanging my wall, says Garcia, the green and the red item above Karl. Oh, take it down. You just have to lift it up and it'll come down. That thing is really cool. This is actually belongs to...
I think I have to go up and actually loosen it from the hook.
Yeah, Constance made that, or Constantine. Everyone, ladies and gentlemen, Karl's ass. Wiggle it. He's not even wiggling it. Okay, so this part is heddle woven, I'm assuming, but weaving, because, well, actually, maybe she did it on a band. She wrote a book about warp-weighted looms and how to use them, but it's in Norwegian. Yeah, my needle binding here. My yarn coming out from under your butt. Okay, anyway, so it could be just a remnant from that as well. And that is her name in runes. She was, or her initials in runes. She was moving, basically downsizing from a house to a camper and moving to the north of Norway. This was just before COVID. This one is an Etler. And this is, I don't know what, I forgot what kind of fur this is. But the cool thing in here, I think it's been a long time since I showed this. I have it in the Viking house in the summer, but not in the winter because then I'm not there to watch it as much. This is a whalebone, but it's also a sword that she had someone make for her for pushing the stitches up on a warp weighted loom. Antoinette, thank you. It's Antoinette, and Sophie knows because they're in the same Viking group. But she's the one who made it. Or not who made it, but this is the one I got from her anyway. So there you go. So all the warp weighted looms in the village are based off of the one that she had, that I got from her as well. Because you can't fit that thing. I mean, it's bigger than the camper door. So, but anyway, so this one I took good care of, and we bring it out once in a while and show the tourists too. But yeah, you don't leave this one unattended because I wouldn't even know where to begin to get one. She had to have it made for her. I mean, first you have to get a hold of a whale rib, and then, but the thing is cool. So that's why it is hanging up on the wall right now in, well, on the one nail that's available, whatever there's a nail available is where things are hanging from. I still have to decorate the back of the wall. I have to pick some yarn out to put in the, oops, up there as well. We'll start, oh, there it goes again. And we ran. No, so it's like a pegboard, but it doesn't have a normal peg system. It has this really weird hook system that goes on there. So if I can figure out how to do it, I will put skeins of yarn on it. So there will be a bunch of them. And I picked out all the colors that looked of this Natur yarn that I'm trying to use. Yarn that I'm trying to use up. It's a bit like Alafos Lopi, but it's more boring in color compared. Cheaper yarn. And I thought I'd try to get rid of that. But then I looked at what the colors would look like on the wall. There's baby blues and purples, and I thought, no. So then I might put the fun yarn up there too. This one I'll make something out of too. It's so fun. Color change. But it would be more colorful on the wall. But the idea anyway is to put the yarn up on the wall so it's a bit of a decoration and maybe inspire me to use it. So that's what I was hoping to get done to today. And then I'll see if there we go. If you can see under here. Oops, Raggedy Andy took a nosedive. That was the yarn I was gonna put on the wall. It's just covered so the cats don't get hair all over it. But I thought these blues and the purples and the pinks underneath would be kind of boring, but I thought these ones would be a lot more fun. Some of the gray too. So we shall see. Some red or some boring green too. But that's my plan for that spot up there, and then if it works, then we'll get more of those boards and move them along. Let's see. But yeah, glad you asked about the bone. The sword, haven't had that one out in a long time. I'll put it up here for now so it doesn't get ruined. I'm afraid it'll break otherwise. It doesn't go behind, no, it just sits on the thing there. See, Robin is here, by the way. She's covered that sword. I have covered that sword beater since Antoinette first showed it in her book. Oh, or coveted, sorry, I'm gonna do that. Now you know why it's not kept in the house when in the Viking house when I'm not there. So it's in the winter time, it spends time on the wall here. But in the summertime, I have it in the house, but you can't see it. I have to bring it out and show people when we talk about weaving and things. You're wearing the cat. Oh, there's more in chat. There's some more suggestions for names. That'll be kind of fun to see. Nidhogg. I like that one. That is actually... Nidhogg was the one you were thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one I was...
Albert remembered it. Yep, you're thinking of Nidhogg. Samantha remembered it too. Everybody remembered it. And then Sophie's got a whole bunch of suggestions in there too, which will be kind of nice to see. Kaya even knew what that was. Your sister knew what that was. Yeah. You are losing it as a Viking. Let's see, and then there's just chat chamber quick. Yeah, no, they all really like the bone, the whale bone. Let's see. It says on the Lindemann site, Men in Kilts, that your beer will keep for years like wine. That way, you can give it to someone else. So perfect.
Of course it will keep for years, because nobody will bloody drink it.
Peruta would drink it. Peruta would drink it.
But not everybody knows a barbarian.
Hector does. Let's see. I would never take it, but finding whalebone in the United States would be difficult, said Robin. Yeah, and finding it in Norway, I think, would be pretty difficult too. Where do you source that?
I'm not sure anymore, because we are not hunting whales commercially. That ended in the 80s. But I are doing some hunting for research purposes.
Yeah.
And you also have whales occasionally has brain farts and just beach themselves. And I usually die from that. So
your sister says, "Why so surprised? Am I the stupid sibling or something?" Like, no, because he's the Viking, though. He's the one that they dug up, and that's why I was thinking of, you should know that before anybody, basically.
This is
You're
true,
a guide in a Viking village.
Remember that the last
on the topic of Vikings.
Remember that the last half of the day I'm a toy maker.
Oh yeah.
So, and I'm surprised how much I like that job, because I have one stack of things coming in that is getting smaller and smaller, and one stack of things I'm done with that gets bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And I'm just basically walking around like a zombie with no thought and listening to my favorite is police interrogations of really stupid people, because I don't have to hear all of it.
He's
I just
big
have
on
to
Sarah
get
Boone right now.
I just have to get the gist of it. Sarah Boone is great, but I've heard every interrogation of her like 6 times.
So Sarah Boone was apparently playing hide and go seek with her abusive boyfriend. And so he smartly hid in a suitcase, which she zipped up, and then went and took a nap after she accidentally kicked the suitcase down the stairs, and then took a nap, and then woke up the next morning, and of course he's dead in the suitcase. So Sarah Boone's a fun one for Karl.
It's even dumber than that, but yes.
Yeah, there's a lot worse than that, but I was trying to be quick. Because we're actually hit 1 hour now, but I was going to say, what else did I miss here? Too, by the way. Oh, yes, soon it's going to be December. And then we usually do... what is it? Stupid, ridiculous Norwegian Christmas food, or...
I don't know if I would call it
stupid. No, some of it's really good, though, actually. Some of it's just disgusting as hell.
We have a term for it that we have used before. That isn't quite that insulting.
What did we call it?
Strange Norwegian.
Strange Norwegian Christmas food. Thank you. There you go. Strange Norwegian Christmas food. So
we are kind of...
But I think we kind of, over the last 4 years... ate everything we could find that was strange.
Have you? I think the rockfisk is one thing we haven't.
Rockfisk we haven't been able to do yet. That's expensive as hell, but we'll get a hold of it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can get some.
Yeah, we were just waiting for it to go on sale, I think, and then it didn't.
Partially because I think it's really good, and partially because it's visually appealing. I think we should do the Skeltehaud again.
What's Skeltehaud again?
Sheep's head.
Oh, what did you call it?
Skeltehaud.
Skeltehaud?
And that's the correct term in my neck of the woods.
I always know it as Smalahova.
Yeah, same difference.
Sheep's head is... Well, we could do that again, but I'm not... I'll eat the cheek, but I just can't do the tongue and the eyeball thing. That's disgusting. But it's actually considered an extreme sport for the Americans to come over to Voss and eat Smalahova, the sheep's head, which is the... Well, it's served. It's the sheep's head cut down the middle and split into 2 and served on your plate. You have one half, and
very
then
good. If you just can get over the fact that your food is staring back at you, it's
it is
a really good meat.
I should not do things where I have to count. My circle is not laying flat anymore because I'm not counting. I have to pull out all my pink stitches. Anyway, let's see, what else do we have? There was another... I was kind of surprised because I was so looking forward to making pumpkin soup when we got back from the United States, and we didn't have any pumpkin in the shop. And then I go and asked, because, Halloween came and went, and there was no pumpkin, so I asked the guy at the store So didn't you have pumpkin this year? And he's like, no, nobody buys it. And I'm like, but I need some. So
I
he
haven't
ordered
seen
it
him for
specially.
for at least a year, and I think he might just be working in the summers at all. But
Who?
you know the guy who started at the beginning of last season, the new chef at the hotel, the guy from Trøndelag.
Oh, yeah. What the heck was it? Not Renee, but his name is something.
Is he still here, and is he here in the winters?
He might just be here in the winters.
In the summers, you mean?
I don't know. He was here. I don't know. I don't remember.
No, he came at the beginning of the season.
Oh,
so.
okay.
I was thinking somebody like that would be great to have on
yeah, we could ask him. He just lives over there. He lives in for a little while. He lived right next to us. But anyway, no, I asked him, and they brought pumpkin. He ordered pumpkin special for me, so I had to have Karl bring back pumpkin from the big bag full. And we made pumpkin soup, and it's so good.
Yeah,
so maybe we'd.
That's great. Even my father loves that.
Yeah, no, but that's actually one of the few things I can make. But we have to. We could probably try to serve that to the rest of the Vikings and see what they think. Because I mean, you have it in Austria. You have it in. They have pumpkin soup, but I don't know if it actually is really well known this far north. Everybody asks me about pumpkin pie.
I would say no. I don't think I had heard about it before you kind of introduced the concept.
Yeah. Because I used to have a lot of people wanting to have pumpkin pie.
And other Norwegians would.
Oh, Kaya's going to have some for Christmas if you're coming to Celia.
Is pumpkin soup a thing in Norway at all?
In Austria, they would call it Styrian pumpkin soup, but they also have garlic soup too there. Anyway, so we'll have to make some of that. James is making a pair of mittens on the knitting machine. Well, that'll be kind of interesting to see how that is, because you have to kind of... Would you make it like this, so that it connects at the top of the hand and then fold it and sew it together? Or is it a round knitting machine? I'm trying to think. The Centaur knitting machine, the one PJ had that was making socks, I missed that in chat on the day. I actually have one of those. It's like a round thing with a little knitting machine. You can actually get a kid's version of it too, but it's just the right width for tube socks.
Didn't our Russian corruption friend give you a knitting machine?
Yeah, it's under the couch, but that's a big one. It sets up on the table and it would take the whole living room. 2 of them, actually.
I still have no idea where this woman is from.
She could be Russian, she could be Ukrainian. I have no idea where.
Every time I talk to her, she tells me about a new country she has lived in.
Yeah.
So she goes, oh, I can give you this. It's Russian corruption. Don't worry about it. Then she occasionally talks about, yes, my husband is allergic to hot weather. So he was really bad in the Israeli army. Yes, and when I lived in Finland, the winters were really cold. And
I used to work in the opera in...
yeah, and she has been
She's been everywhere, but she works in travel,
and
in the travel industry.
She has a Ukrainian flag on her profile on Facebook. Yeah. And it would be easier for me to guess where she isn't
She's a spy, says Kaya. You've just revealed it.
I'm pretty sure she is not African.
She could be a spy.
She could be Egyptian or South African, but I'm pretty sure she is.
Yeah. So Sophie likes Rockfisk, so she's voting for Rockfisk. I am too, though. That's actually really good. One of the few incidences where I'll have mustard. You put mustard on Rockfisk and then put it on a cracker, and it's got to be Dijon, though, but I actually don't like mustard, but on Rockfisk it was really good. I'm not
entirely sure if I've actually eaten it.
Really? Oh, it's good. It's rotten fish.
I've eaten most of the weird types of fish we have in Norway, but I'm not sure about if I've eaten
way better than lutefisk. We haven't done lutefisk yet either, but getting a hold of that is a bit tricky too. And it stinks like hell. Lutefisk? No. Yeah.
It smells like nothing.
If you drown it in bacon and butter, then it's really good.
The lutefisk itself is very anticlimactic. It tastes like what It's what I imagine a jellyfish would taste like. It basically tastes like nothing.
Kaya is convinced that Tamara is a spy. Travel, she said. I saw that Kaya's significant other, Bjornar, is learning learning French on Duolingo, and we're actually going to go to attend a wedding in France this summer.
Yeah.
So I was thinking that might actually not be a bad idea, because that's one place where it might be. Also, because the place we're going to is like 5,000 inhabitants.
Yeah.
It might be hard to order food off a menu if we don't know at least the vegetables.
That's the great advantage with being like me. I'm a complete omnivore.
Yeah.
So if I point at anything in the menu, they'll give me something I like.
Challenge, Kaya!
Unless I accidentally point at this fucking thing.
Challenge accepted. Lutefisk is fine. Rockfisk is good, says Albert. Yeah, no, so we got to think of some. We can do some repeats though. We can do the smalahova maybe. That takes a little while to prepare though. You have to steam it for like what, 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then we can do. We'll try to get a hold of some rockfisk.
But the oven does all the steaming. All we have to do is to basically put it on it.
Yeah, and babysit the sucker. So.
If you use the oven at work, it has the stupid idiot alarm that basically turns it off whenever the oven itself thinks it's not being handled.
Yeah, but we'll probably be having it here because of the lack of Vikings in the
Should be no problem.
I should not do this when I'm not paying attention. I keep forgetting to increase. Okay, anyway, we should... if you're close to the castle that is being built called Gideon, says Albert. Do you know that one?
Huh?
Oh, it says if you're close to the castle... If you're close to the castle that is being built called Gideon.
I don't understand the context.
Might be... We might have missed it. Might have gone over it. But anyway, we could also do candy. We could do cookies. We could do crike.
If you want an excuse to eat cookies, that's perfectly fine. But
I grew up eating lutefisk, says Menikilts. I did not get any last year. They don't sell it here anymore.
It's in Norway.
You can make it own in your backyard. You just bury it.
In Norway, there is a tradition that you have 7 kinds of small Christmas cookies before Christmas. Do you have something similar in other countries, or is this a Norwegian thing?
Lutefisk?
Christmas cookies.
Oh, Christmas cookies. No. We do that in the United States, too. I had a student that was so fun. When I worked at SFU, it's like an after-school school or a latchkey type program. I did that 15 years ago or so, and I worked there for like 8 years. I had brought my mom's monster cookie recipe. So we made monster cookies with the students. And they loved it so much. I had a student that actually reached out a couple days ago and said, my dad moved and we lost the recipe and Christmas isn't complete without the monster cookies that we made like 15 years ago. And I'm like, oh my God. I mean, they've got to be like 30 now, these kids. And so I thought that was so sweet. So my mom's actually coming back tomorrow and we'll find the recipe because my cookbooks are missing. They're buried in the moving stuff. Anyway, but monster cookies is, that was, so she could have her Christmas tradition too of making cookies, but monster cookies, do you know what they are? It's kind of like an oatmeal cookie. Sometimes you have raisins in it, sometimes not, and you just basically throw every candy under the sun in there. You can put nuts in there, you can put, M&M's is a big one, or Non-Stop in Norwegian. All kinds of things like that in there. Oh, Gudvangen Castle is a new castle being built using medieval techniques. There was is that the one in France? There was a French guy that was showing me that once in the shop, saying you have to go to this place.
Okay, then the context is clear. He is talking about when we are going to France anyway.
Yep. So we could try to look at that. That's the one Albert was talking about. He says, Max wants to know if it's wondering if it's possible to make a mitten in Coptic stitch. Absolutely. Not only is it possible, but it's been done. I'm pretty sure if you search through the Facebook groups, at some point you're going to see one that's made in there. But yeah, and then you could do the ribbing. You can do the right, wrong, the ribbing anyway around the base and just like that. We should almost do Coptic stitch as a stitch of the month.
The base for her pleasure.
We should probably go. That's the one. I can't with French words, says Albert. I can't. Ribbed. So we're gonna go. But yeah, next Saturday it'll be 6:30 as well. It seems to be working out well because it gives us enough time to get home first. So otherwise we don't have a ride after 6 o'clock. So then we will see you next week. And is there still one? Yeah, there's still more November left. So we don't have to come up with a food issue right away. So we can still get some suggestions on what kind of Norwegian foods need to come back and be revisited from the last couple of years.
And I just love the idea of you boiling sheep's head.
I thought we could have a Dom, that Norwegian cheese that comes from Holland. Anyway, but we can bring back an oldie but a goodie. Okay, Copstick Stitch is perfect for the next month. Okay, we can try it. I'm not a huge fan of it because it's easier to just knit. It's not the same in appearance, but for me it's close enough. But we will do it. We can do Coptic next month.
Pretty soon, Rune will be back at work, so we can probably drag him with us to eat food too.
Force feed him pumpkin soup.
Yeah, among other things.
Okay, see you next week. Enjoy your beer, Karl. Bye. There. Oh, I have to turn off this way.